from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, March 2nd, 2016. I'm Ann Gownley. The Hazleton Area School District was among the first to employ metal detectors. Now it's become among the first to drop them. WYLN's Gary Perna spoke with Superintendent of Schools Dr. Craig Butler about why this is happening.
The Hazleton Area School District placed metal detectors in all its buildings for the 2013 school year. WYLN News was there in September of 2013 when elementary school students went through the metal detectors for the first time at Drums Elementary. But 2.5 years later, the district found that they were not effective, as they've hoped.
We met with the administrators, principals of each building last Friday. Chief Ed Harry, who's our new Chief of Security, Chief of Police, we felt some changes needed to occur relative to how we were using the metal detectors. We knew because of evidence that we've experienced through our expulsion hearings, but also through experiences we've had over the last 3 years, that the metal detectors were not catching or identifying every piece of artifact that would come into the building, particularly in high school.
Butler said the reason for that is because they were sending student after student through the metal detectors, and it was not recalibrating like it should, and it was missing things.
Think of the airport setting, for example, where they actually ask you to hold up for a few seconds while the detectors recalibrate and refresh. We're not doing that here. And while the detectors did serve a purpose and still will serve a purpose, I think the emphasis now is on greater effectiveness, more accuracy, and much more thoroughness in terms of what we're doing with them, with the students and moving forward.
Now the district is not screening students or visitors that enter into the Hazleton area school buildings on a daily or regular basis. The metal detectors will be used on a random basis.
We're going to be using them in a random fashion and using them more thoroughly, Mike, to make sure that we don't have any contraband, so to speak, coming into the building. This is a big change for us. I mean, over the 3 or 4 years, students are used to walking through the detectors every morning. We understand that. But we think these changes are going to be for the better. They will give us more accuracy moving forward. The random checks will be such that we're implementing the element of surprise.
The idea came from school board member Vinny Zola, who's the chairman of the board security committee. Zola was the district security director for a number of years some time ago. Zola said a routine use of them every single day for every single student was just not working and it had little value. The district now hopes that by doing this, they will save some time and put the emphasis back on education. In Hazel Township, for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
A Mahanoy City woman was arrested for an early Tuesday morning stabbing incident. Police were called to 107 West Spruce Street shortly after 2 a.m. There they found Kenneth Van Horn with a 1-inch long laceration to his right shoulder. Police arrested Marissa Garcia, who let Van Horn into her residence, and Garcia told police that Van Horn smashed her television and put his hands on her. Van Horn stated that Garcia swung at him with a pair of scissors, striking him in the shoulder. He was treated for his injury at the scene. Garcia was charged with 1 felony count of aggravated assault and a misdemeanor offense of simple assault. She was arraigned before Magisterial District Judge Anthony Kilker and taken to the Schuylkill County Prison for lack of 10% of $25,000 bail. Stephon Reese of Hazleton is now facing federal firearms charges. He was indicted by U.S. Attorney Peter Smith and stemming from his alleged robbery of guns from Bob's Sporting Goods on Wyoming Street in December. The charges stem from a joint investigation between the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the city police. Reese and several cohorts are alleged to have broken into the store and stolen 4 firearms. The maximum penalty for all Reese's charges is up to 25 years in prison and a $750,000 fine. There was a power outage on Hazleton's northwest side last night. It affected a relatively small but heavily populated section of the city, much of Locust Street. PPL says the outage affected around 115 customers. It was caused by a problem with a transformer on Locust Street between 4th and 5th Streets. The power was back on in around 90 minutes. There will be no charges in Porngate. The special prosecutor hired by Attorney General Kathleen Kane to examine evidence in the alleged pornographic email scandal, Doug Gansler, the former Maryland Attorney General, says it's unlikely he will bring criminal charges against anyone involved. Gansler said bringing charges under obscenity laws would be far-fetched, and there's no evidence of other laws being broken. Gansler said the conduct of officials involved may violate workplace rules, but was hardly criminal. Gansler said he still intends to make public every offensive email and identify all recipients and senders. It was a back and forth, he said, she said, at last night's Hazleton City Council meeting. Most of the meeting was spent talking about what was not on the agenda rather than what was on it. Mayor and council are still going back and forth over Cassatt's appointments to department head positions. Cassatt said he does not feel that he has to ask council to approve the appointments, but council begs to differ. During the public comment section of the meeting, council heard from the zoning hearing board chair asking them to appoint someone to the vacant seat. That was taken off the agenda by council after Cassatt did not put his department heads on. Following the regular meeting, council and the mayor met in an executive session with the solicitor to talk about personnel issues. Luzerne County has suspended its electronic recycling program. It can't afford to keep it up. Recycling coordinator Beth Denardi said it's been cause of change in the recycling market and rising costs. It's the latest county to drop or suspend its electronic recycling program. DEP says the reason counties are suspending the program is because of cost and a law that went into effect in 2010, the Covered Devices Recycling Act. It's the one that required recycling for a list of electronic devices, everything from TVs to computer monitors to computers to cell phones. The suspension means residents will have to find a place to take old electronics and pay for it themselves. It is still illegal to put electronics out with normal household garbage. The Wolf administration is asking the State Treasury Department to pay about $200 million in prison costs without legislation that authorizes it. Lawmakers say suspending over the appropriated amount would set the dangerous precedent, which would upset the balance of power in Harrisburg. But Wolf administration lawyers and the Attorney General's office say such spending to protect the welfare of prisoners is warranted under the Constitution, even if it conflicts with the state constitution. Lawmakers approved $1.9 billion in December for prisons, but Wolf vetoed half of it in a wider budget dispute with lawmakers, and the state has spent up to the authorized amount. Treasurer Tim Reese says he's considering the request carefully. Time now for a first look at our forecast. It certainly was a chilly but sunny day here in our area, but rain may soon be on the way, and is there a chance of more snow? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is in the Weather Center with all the details. Joe?
Thank you very much, Ann. Yes, there is a chance of some snow in our forecast. We also have some very mild weather to talk about across our region, but if you're traveling through this evening, things looking pretty good out there. No major problems out there. And there's been a couple of snow showers and flurries as you head out toward central and western PA up through upstate New York. But for our area, really not much going on. These were high temperatures, 24 hours, actually weren't too bad whatsoever. We got some warmer air to talk about. We got some colder weather to talk about, including the colder weather today, because of course yesterday we know it was much milder. Today a different story. 28 now in New Angola, that place you see on the screen. New Angola. There you go. 34 in Berwick, 34 in Bloomsburg, and 33 degrees in Danville. I'll get completely untongue-tied a little bit later on, so stick around if that, Gary says if that's possible. You can laugh all you want. That's okay. All right, and back to you.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, across the Hazleton Area School District, students were celebrating Read Across America Week and Dr. Seuss's birthday. We'll hear from those involved and what it means to the students. Plus, an old school is up for sale in Carbon County, and we talked with the mayor about it and why it's such a great thing. Stay tuned. More news, weather, and sports is coming your way only on WYLN.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, weather with meteorologist Joe Garbacik, and sports with Eric DeBerardinis.
Combined Insurance makes it easy to protect you and your loved ones by paying cash directly to you when you need it most. Whether you're looking for accident and sickness, disability, or life coverage, Combined Insurance has a policy to meet your needs and fit your budget. Call John Ravello, 570-499-0504 for an appointment to help determine the best coverage for you. That's John Ravello, 570-499-0504.
Hello, I'm Paul Esposito Jr. from Victoria's Candies. My family has been serving the Hazleton and surrounding area since 1934. Our secret family recipes and time-tested techniques of making fine candy have made Victoria's Candies your choice for nearly 4 generations. We specialize in Easter baskets and hollow-filled eggs, and we make our own chocolate molds, like the Easter Bunny, the Last Supper, the Cross, an iPod, a cell phone, or a guitar, just to name a few. Shop where the Easter Bunny shops, Victoria's Candies.
Well, today is Dr. Seuss's birthday, and students at Maple Manor Elementary Middle School had the opportunity to celebrate with guest readers, including myself, who had the opportunity to read to the 4th grade class of Mrs. Welsh. Today is Dr. Seuss's birthday. Students across America are celebrating all this week. In the Hazleton Area School District, each building had special readers to help in those celebrations. WYLN stopped by Maple Manor Elementary Middle School, where community leaders came in to read to 3rd and 4th grade students. The Hazleton Area High School Band, along with the Cougar, performed this morning to entertain the guests and the students. Along with those several other guest readers, I was able to donate my time to read to the 4th grade students in Mrs. Welsh's class. And today, it was all about green eggs and ham and, oh, the places you'll go.
We have community members coming to join us today and read to our children, and we have state troopers, we have the fire chief coming, we have former teachers, we have 2 coaches from the high school, we have Mike Brennan, the football coach, we have Joe Gavio, the girls basketball coach. He's also brought 2 of his players, his star players, Mac Yorai and Alyssa Shamani, and they're here today to entertain our children and help read with them and enjoy the day.
Guest reader and Hazleton Area girls basketball team member Mackenzie Yorai remembers sitting in those seats as a young student, listening to the books being read by the guest readers. Today, she says that she's honored to be a part of this event.
It's very special too because it helped me get to know the older girls, and just to get a feel for like reading out loud, and it's always a great experience when somebody comes and reads to you and just reads a fun book, and it was always fun for me when I had readers come into my classroom.
Yorai says as their team prepares to continue their fight for a state championship title this Friday, she wants the students to know that anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it.
All I could say is just always follow your heart and do exactly what you love to do, because that's what I do. I love to play sports. I love to compete. And if they have that same drive and love for it, then just follow your heart and work very hard. And that's all they could really do, and give it 110% and just really do exactly what they love to do in life.
This week, students are learning about the importance of reading, and all Principal Conahan hopes is that they continue reading books at every age.
The importance is showing our children that reading is a part of their everyday life. And of course, today is Dr. Seuss's birthday. We are just showing all the good that he has done for children over the ages, and showing the children that reading does not stop when you're just going to 1st, 2nd grade. You could read Dr. Seuss anytime. And not just Dr. Seuss, we're trying to instill in our children the importance of reading.
Students we spoke with today said they had a lot of fun learning about Dr. Seuss and about the importance of reading. And I want to thank those that allowed me to come into their classroom. Well, coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is back with a full look at our forecast. Stay tuned, more news is headed your way, including sports, here on WYLN.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi Electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicapped accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
What is Joe holding? One versus the other, 2 different times a year? Yeah, that's going to be our weather as we progress through March. Before the end of this week, by going to a Friday, you may need a broom or maybe even a little bit of a shovel, a little bit of that snow coming through. But by next week, we're going to be looking at some mild weather. You may want to get in the garden and take out the rake and maybe do some cleaning outdoors, because, boy, I tell you what, those temperatures are going to be pretty nice as we go into next week. But right now, it is just downright chilly and windy across our area. Onto the graphic for today, and you'll be able to see for yourself that, well, you know, winter's not officially over just yet, and you could definitely feel the chill in the air across northeastern Pennsylvania today, especially with those stiff winds. It's cold to wait as temperature-wise, but when you factor in the winds, it's actually making it feel much colder than what the actual air temperature indicates when you happen to walk outside. All right, moving along with our graphics, and you'll see for yourself that we have nothing to show you. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. It continues to remain dry, and it'll stay dry as we head right through the rest of the overnight hours. Lively high tire conditions outside our television station. We're still in the mid to upper 20s, but don't let that fool you, because with those winds out there, they're coming in 15, 20, 25, 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts in excess of that. It's actually making it feel much colder. In fact, it's actually making it feel like it's only in the teens. 32 now, Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, 27 in Mount Pocono, lower 40s in Philadelphia. And look at just how cold it is out toward the west. Only 23 in Erie, 29 degrees in Pittsburgh. 30s up in the Wyoming Valley area, but those winds 20, 25 miles per hour. Got some snow showers and flurries primarily in central and western PA, upstate New York. For us, really not much going on, but again, those winds will continue to be a factor as we head through the rest of this evening. Kind of quiet for tomorrow. Not the case for tomorrow night and the first part of Friday. Some snow will overspread our area. Not a whole lot at this point. It looks like more of a nuisance than anything. And then tell you what, going into next week, boy, it's going to get very mild across our area. We have a chance of getting up into the 60s for daytime highs. Extended forecast looking like this: 33, chilly for tomorrow, some snow for Thursday night into Friday. Mid to upper 30s for the weekend, but notice as we progress through next week, it is looking very nice, a gradual increase in temperatures. Our daytime Pennsylvania lottery numbers: the pick 223, the pick 3 610, and the pick 4 5089. Pick 5 numbers 97897, and the treasure hunt numbers 6, 18, 19, 22, and 30. Stick around. We'll have a lot more for you coming up after these commercial messages.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud, host of The Storm right here on WYLN TV. The show's called The Storm for good reason. Each week I tackle important and often controversial issues. I enjoy stirring the pot and getting people to think. And I have no problem asking the tough questions, putting elected officials on notice, and demanding you get the answers you deserve. So tune in each week to The Storm, only on WYLN TV.
We're expanding.
WYLN News has a immediate opening for a news reporter and anchor, a multimedia journalist. Please send resumes and demo reels to Ann Gamley, News Director, 1057 East 10th Street, Hazleton, Pennsylvania, 18201, or by email news@wylntv.com.
Get your green on and join us for the Wilkes-Barre St. Patrick's Day Parade, Sunday, March 13th, live on WYLN TV 35. Thousands of spectators, vintage vehicles, local talent, floats, marching bands, and more. The Wilkes-Barre St. Patrick's Day Parade, March 13th, live on WYLN TV 35. We're your local network.
A historic landmark in Weatherly may soon be revitalized. Our Julie Stefanovich has more on this story.
The Schwab School, which overlooks the town of Weatherly, was given as a gift to the residents by Maria Schwab. It was built back in 1901 and has been a symbol of the area ever since. The last class to graduate from the school was in 1991. The building was purchased shortly afterwards, but no progress was ever made.
A gentleman had purchased the building after that and let it fall into disarray. So it's been a lot of court battles, years of court battles, and that gentleman is no longer in the picture, and that's why I see this as a positive move for the borough of Weatherly. I just want the building to be retained as the symbol that it was meant to be. I want them to take care of it so it's structurally sound, and we're willing to work with anybody who wants to come in and do something great with this building. We're excited about it.
The school has stood the test of time and holds a bright future for the borough.
Whether it's going to be apartments, whether it's going to be offices, that would be up to the new buyer to decide, but we'd certainly work with them as long as they moved along in a positive way, and Weatherly's happy that something's being done here.
Improvements are already underway.
Cleaning out the inside of the building, removing all the trash. They boarded up the broken windows. They're looking at taking down the annex part of the building, which is the worst part of the building. It wasn't the main structure. It was added on later. So that's all good for the building itself.
Once the project is completed, it will benefit the borough by bringing in a larger tax base. It is an important piece of history, and residents want to see it preserved. For up-to-date information on the Schwab School, you can log on to weatherlypa.org. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up next, Eric DeBardinas is in with sports here on WYLN. Plus, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik will have one final look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
Watch Off the Beaten Path on WYLN TV 35 and discover the Pennsylvania you never knew existed.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You're going to meet Joe, whose very busy, very active lifestyle was cut short by a fall at work. He suffered in silence until a little help and a little encouragement from a loved one convinced him to see Dr. John. He's feeling so much better. He's going to share his story this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
The state playoffs are nearly here. The Wyoming Valley Conference and Schuylkill League will be well represented among Pennsylvania's best. Right now, we give out the local best in our high school basketball power rankings. On the boys' side, Shenandoah, number 7, nearly district winners. Berwick, number 6, back in states for the first time in 36 years. Blue Mountain, number 5, just can't seem to overcome our number 1. Minersville flips the script on Mahanoy, capturing the District 11 AA title this year. Now, Hazleton, the only team in the rankings not advancing to states, they just ran into the beast that is Abington Heights. We would say Myers is the hottest team around, but don't want to discredit Pottsville, who still hasn't lost a game this season. The girls' side, Blue Mountain no longer in it, but still a great season for the Lady Eagles. You'll hear from district champ Mahanoy in just a moment. Number 5, Pottsville fell just short of a district championship. Number 4, Nanticoke was stumped in the district semis, but the Lady Trojanettes with a lot of potential moving forward. Holy Redeemer finally crowned after failing to capture gold with Alexis Lewis in previous years. Hazleton, you'll also hear from, completely dominated Pittston in the Quad A championship. But number 1 is Minersville, who currently owns the number 1 AA ranking in the entire state. Joe Gavio is always excited, but he's especially excited this time of the year. And why not, after the Hazleton girls basketball won their district championship game by 38 points. The Lady Cougars are embracing the motto of one more game until they win that game and advance to the next one. Neshaminy is the next one, with this first round of state playoffs set for Friday at Crestwood High School.
You know, a lot of people are collected the uniforms, and you're still playing. It's the big dance. Show them a couple one shiny moment videos, but we had a super year. You know, every year we expect to be there. We're Hazleton. We expect to be there, but realistically, lost some people last year, and oh my God, to have the year we had, to win the championship of our league, which was awesome, then have the district at the arena. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, but guess what? Starting to feel pretty good.
The Mahanoy girls are back in the state playoffs for the first time since 1998, when they happened to win it all. It's been a fun ride for the Lady Bears, who came back in both the district semifinals and finals, but now it's about shifting focus to their first round opponent, Delco Christian.
Obviously enjoyed Saturday and Sunday and even Monday some. Girls have been real excited. Yesterday we kind of started getting back in the swing of things as far as our workouts go. We had a scrim, so trying to get going and get ready for Saturday now.
Talk about their playing and how they play, and we're going to work on our defense today. And it's just been a good feeling all throughout. Like, the whole school has like congratulated us and coming into practice, and we just like want to work harder.
Tonight on Late Edition Sports, more on state playoff basketball, but next, Joe Garbacik is in with a final look at the forecast. Stay tuned.
If you're not in danger and you see a crime, text 274-637, 274-637, 274-637. Send your tip, take them off the street. Text 274-637. Send your tip, take them off the street. No one will know your identity.
Now helping to solve or prevent the crime is just a text away. Text my tips to the word crimes and let the law help you.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer, dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill, and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Well, there's been a couple of flurries and snow showers out in central and western PA, upstate New York. Not much going on for our area, except maybe a chance of some snow in our forecast. Doesn't look like a whole lot at this point in time. More of a nuisance, I think, at this point. But then we have some mild weather to contend with. So it would be nice if I can officially say that this is going to be the last of the cold weather. Of course, I can't do that because anything can happen in March, but, you know, indications are it's going to get very mild, very nice going into, you know what, I say skip the next couple of days and let's make it already Tuesday of next week.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I agree.
But let me tell you something. When you see the snow on the screen, after these last few days, I don't expect to see it anymore.
I mean, it can happen in late March even.
Should we worry about school cancellations at all? Friday, it's the...
Oh, it'll come in probably Thursday night and a Friday morning, so at least maybe some delays. Can't rule that out.
All right, well, you heard it. Can't rule it out, at least. So
can't promise you that, no. I know the kids would say, oh, I'd love to have a day off.
Well, it is, you know, they haven't had much, though.
No.
some delays, but
That's all right. The winter's
relatively-
gone quick, I think, this year.
Well, stay tuned for that because that could affect the state basketball playoffs, which tip off on Friday. So we'll keep you updated on that.
All right, sounds good. And Joe, I know we're just gonna hope that is the last.
I sure hope
Yeah, I want that 63.
Yeah.
Be all right with me.
I'll take it.
Flip-flop weather, Eric.
It's always flip-flop.
Have a good one, everyone.